Back to Business, the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce radio show featuring our guests each and every week during your lunch break. So as always, I hope you're having a good meal, and I hope you really sit back and enjoy the show, because today I have another one of my frat brothers that's just falling like this right now. It must be God's will. And if it's his will, it shall be done. And now I'm going to introduce to some and present to others my radio guest today, none other than my friend and our New Orleans City Councilman, Brother Freddie King III. Brother King, how are you today? And can you tell the listening audience, who is Freddie King III?
Well, thank you, Brother Coolon. Should I say Brother Edward Smith? So we're going to be politically correct and everything. But I've been knowing you since Coolon and way back.
Way back.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the Black Chamber of Commerce for putting this on. Who is Freddie King? I am a lifelong Algiers resident, born and raised in Algiers, born and raised on the West Bank. A 2002 graduate of Archbishop Shaw High School in Marrero. From there, I went on to Southeastern University in Louisiana in Hammond, where I played football for 4 years. Was a part of the football team that came back after an 18-year break. Pledged Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Actually, helped charter that chapter while I was there. I would say more importantly, met my wife at Southeastern.
All right.
And from there, went to Southern University Law Center, of course, in Baton Rouge. Had a good time out there. My wife, she also is I'm a 2010, she's a 2011 Southern University Law Center graduate. Came back home to the West Bank, to Algiers, where it all started, and started my own law firm. The King Law Firm was a small, started off as actually another frat brother, now judge, Adrian Adams, used to let me meet clients in his office. I didn't have a place. I was meeting people at McDonald's at one time, or, any Starbucks, whatever. And he let me use his office space and started renting out office space, and eventually saved enough and was blessed enough and fortunate enough to get my own piece of property in Algiers and start the King Law Firm, and that's where I'm at now.
All right, so it's going to be a series of questions. Answer them as how you see fit to answer them. And you just alluded to it. So what is your private business? How long have you been open? And what services do you provide?
My private business is the King Law Firm. I've been open since 2011. And right now I mainly do personal injury. Before, I was doing it all. I was doing criminal law, family law, successions. I was traveling to every parish in the area, Plaquemines, St. Bernard, St. Tammany, Vermilion, just hustling, just going everywhere I can go. But with the council being such a demanding job, although it's on paper part-time, it's very much so full-time and then some. I really focus on personal injury law.
All right, so where is your law office located?
It's located on Newton Street in Algiers, 1816 Newton Street. For those who are not familiar with that area, I'm about a block away from the crew of the Jugs, the crew of Namtok. About a block away from their house, and I'm a block away from Landry High School. So I like to call it right in the heart of old Algiers.
Gotcha. So why do you choose Algiers as a location for your business?
Well, not just Algiers. So I'm 3 blocks from where I grew up. I grew up on Newton and LaBeouf Street, and I'm on Newton and Hindi, basically. So I'm about 3 blocks from where I grew up, and that was very special to me. But like I said before, I started off meeting people at PJ's or at McDonald's or a coffee shop, and started borrowing office space, and then started renting out office space. And one day I was actually at an event that Namtok had at the clubhouse, or the Jugs had, and I was talking to Mr. Oscar Rainey, not Oscar Rainey, George Rainey. And I was like, man, I'm trying to get a building, but I'm getting frustrated and tired of renting. I'm gonna have my own. And he was like, hey man, you very uplifting. You're gonna something gonna happen. Keep looking, keep praying on it. And I kid you not, when I walked back to my car, it was raining, so I had to park farther than I wanted to park to go to that event. When I got back to my car, I looked up and I was parked in front of an abandoned building.
Okay.
I said, man, I'm gonna look into this building.
Right.
Did some research, coming to find out another frat brother of ours was on the building. And he and I worked the deal out. And in 2019, everything was done on that end. And it took me a couple months to renovate it. And it's been on ever since then, right around the time COVID hit. I was in the office, and Algiers kind of chose me. It was just perfect location, God's timing, God's plan. I knew I wanted to be on the West Bank, and I kid you not, I looked up and said, "Hey, here's an an empty building, not a blighted, but an empty building," and just kind of fell in my lap.
All right. So, what makes your law office a special place for you personally and professionally?
Well, again, that's where I grew up. I grew up 3 blocks away from the property where it's located now, and it's mine, and I own it. It's I'm not renting it, and everyone do things differently, but for different business reasons. But I own it, so I can pass that down. I will pass that down to my children, and they can take over the family business or do whatever they see fit with it. But it's something that I own that I can pass down and give to my children. They can give to their children. That's why it's very special to me.
All right. Has there been any challenges in working a business in this area, and how did you overcome them?
Well, yeah, when I first came to the area, it was told like, why are you going there? It's the law. That's not a place that you would think a law office would be. Um, it's kind of a rougher part of town, but I didn't see it like that. I saw opportunity. I saw kids walking to and from Landry, walking in front of a series of abandoned buildings, and I said, well, why not me? Why not move here and let them see a black man from this neighborhood um, investing, number one, investing in this neighborhood, two, being a lawyer. If they never see a lawyer, how can they be a lawyer? They
Right.
never see a positive, successful black man. How can they ever be one? So um, I didn't look at it as a challenge. I looked at it as an opportunity, and business is going to come wherever you are, especially in the type of practice I do. Business is going to follow the lawyer. So I love it over there. And what makes it even more special is right on the Namtok route. So the families for the past few years come over there, and
There you go.
kids my dad back their truck up in the parking lot on the driveway, and have a great time with the family at the Crew of Namtok parade.
Gotcha. So, what do you hope that Freddie King III brings to the community?
Just that one, on its surface level, getting rid of blighted property and bringing something to that neighborhood that's never been there. But I would say more importantly, being that example slash role model for those young kids in that area, seeing, hey, this man is from where I'm from. Um, if he can do it, and I tell people that if I can do it, there is nothing, no, I have no magic formula, no secret sauce, just hard work. So if they can see me do it, that's what I want to show them that they can do it, and also invest in your own neighborhood. Too often I see other folks investing in our neighborhood, and our neighborhood stop looking like our neighborhood.
Right.
And I wanted to change that. I could have went stay where I was at prior to in Gretna, paying very very cheap rent, or say I'm gonna come downtown where the rest of the lawyers are, or on Canal Street. But no, I chose to be in a neighborhood where there aren't many professionals, professional lawyers or doctors. So I wanted to be an example and lead by example.
All right. So, beyond being a New Orleans city councilman and an attorney, how are you involved in the local community?
Several ways, several ways. One thing that comes to mind, I'm a member of the Silverback Society. It's a mentoring group. We mentored young men in eighth grade throughout the city. Started doing that and over 10 years ago with Mr. Lloyd Dennis. So do that. And just giving back through the council and through my through me being a lawyer, giving back, whether it be scholarships. We give out scholarships every year doing Bayou Classic to a Southern University Law Center student, to a grammar student, letting them know you're not forgotten about. We know you're in college and times are hard and the refrigerator may be empty. So we give them a scholarship every year, and every year during Essence Fest. A lot of people come down to party, and that's great. But we also give a scholarship to a student who just graduated from college or who was about to graduate, kind of give them that head start or that boost, if you will, right around the time they graduated. Again, to say thank you for conducting yourself the way you're conducting yourself, representing the city, and you aren't forgotten about. So I just do a lot of things through the council, through my law firm, and individually to help the community.
All right. So, how do you see your business contributing to the growth and revitalization of the city of New Orleans, in particular Algiers and the surrounding areas?
Well, I would love to see there are some other empty buildings, or empty spots around me. I would love to see other people from that community come in and buy it, fix it up, and that is happening. So I always see it more people invest in that community. And as far as how can I, as a lawyer, contribute, or come our law firm contribute, we've done like successions and wills at different churches for free. One way our community is lost, as far as our properties are lost, and our community starts to look differently, is we don't properly do successions. We don't properly do wills. I think we are kind of afraid of that. So we've been to a few churches, and I've done some individually for individuals just for free. Like, you need a will to properly donate or give your property to somebody else. Without that will, now it's a big confusion as to who who owns what. I always say this, Big Mama passed away,
Right.
has a couple kids. There's no will. One of the children died. So now that child's children step up. So the grandchildren step up. And now other set of grandchildren step up. So 10 years after the grandparents pass away, you may have 8 owners of one piece of property.
Wow.
What happens? Well, I don't live there. I'm not paying the taxes.
Yeah.
I live
Their
in,
property.
and now it's sold at a tax sale, and that's property that's gone. So giving help on successions and wills is one way. Another way I contribute to the community, because you'll be surprised how many properties are lost just because we didn't do a proper succession and or will.
Right. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you've faced in the role as a father,
hmm
husband, attorney, and city councilman?
Um, that's a great question. The challenge is trying to juggle all of those. I think you said father, husband, city
Husband,
council,
attorney, city
all
council.
wearing different hats, trying to juggle it all. Your home is your first ministry, so definitely don't want to let my family don't want to neglect them, but also having to put in time at the law practice, having to put in time at City Hall. So just juggling all of those hats and getting creative. Like a couple weeks ago, we did a kind of a tour of the city, tour of the district. We went to the African American Museum after church with my wife and the kids, and after that we went to the Baldwin Bookstore, let them see a black-owned bookstore and coffee shop, and bought some books out of there. Then from there we went to the French Market. So we spent time, a couple of hours together, just touring the city, seeing things, showing my kids different parts of the city, showing them Treme and showing them Merritt in the French Quarter. So we got to spend time with the kids, but also had my council member hat on, touring the district, meeting constituents, meeting business owners. So just juggling all of those things at one time, and at times you can bring them all together and make it work at one time. But that's the biggest challenge, is right? Just trying to juggle all of those hats at one time.
So, listening audience, I hope you take a break right now from whatever you're eating on and give us a call. Be a part of the conversation. You have any questions, anything you want to say to Councilman Freddie King or Brother Freddie King, reach us at 504-582-9422. Now, Brother King,
Hmm.
um, what are some lessons that you've learned in your journey as a business owner?
Okay. Um, One thing I like to have the customer is always right attitude, or um, never be greedy. I should say that. So as an attorney, especially in personal injury, you get a certain percentage of the settlement, and sometimes it's where the numbers go, it's more than the client would get.
Mm,
And I never want to take more than my client, because without them, it wouldn't be me.
right.
So if we got to make it an even split that we share, let's say that's just an example. Let's say that's $10,000 left, and out of that 10, I should get six. The client gets four. I'll just do 5 and 5.
Right.
And that way the client doesn't feel like they got shortchanged. They can see, well, my law's supposed to get this, but he took out that. So that's one thing I've learned. Always go above and beyond to make your client satisfied, because that's a repeat client. That's a commercial for you. But when you try to be greedy, I shouldn't say greedy, but when you don't have that open heart and you just try to take all the money, um, you may rub somebody the wrong way,
Right.
and that's just one bad report, or one bad advertisement. Do you want that? Is it worth it? Was that extra money worth that client bad mouthing you?
Gotcha.
I mean, you could have easily just split it, and that client would bring you more money in the future. But now you was too busy trying to get all the money, and now you don't get any referred clients from that client that you had a not an issue with, but you know what I'm saying. Just always leave your client, leave them walking away happy.
Right.
I should
Right.
say that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what are the future goals for Freddie King III, and what do you see yourself in the future?
First, we're gonna knock this election out October 11th to win that and have another term. So I look forward to being on the council for another 4 years, and just continue to um, help our community grow. Just continue to visit the kids at JJIC, being an example for them. Continue to help businesses in our community, help Black businesses thrive. Just continue to be a positive influence in our city. 'Cause I look at things on social media. There's so much negativity out there. Social media, regular media, just continue to be that positive figure in the community is what I look forward to doing in the future.
So, do you see your law office expanding beyond your current location, or is it focused on continue to build there?
Focus is to stay where I'm at. I love where I'm at. It's convenient, and I love being once again in the community that helped raise me. I'm about a football field or two from my old house. So I love where I'm at. I love being that example. If I'm on Poydras, yeah, I got the shiny office, but am I influencing? Am I inspiring that kid walking to Landry to school?
Right.
Probably not, because they can't see me.
So, what legacy do you want to leave as a business owner in this community?
Just somebody that gave back. That one gave back by investing in that community, and two, giving back by taking the funds you receive and put that back into the community. I see a commercial by Juan LaFonte, and he says something that a lot of attorneys been saying all the time. Like, we see the big name attorneys, but they don't give back to our community. So I think he hit the nail on the head. Do we give back? So that's one thing I want to do: continue to give back and leave that legacy of uplifting with the scholarships and with the field trips, and just donating your time and your funds. Because without your community giving you business, you wouldn't even have that to give back with.
Right.
So that's the legacy I want to leave behind somebody who always had an open hand as far as giving, and who always made time to give back.
All right. So, what legacy do you want to leave as a politician in this community?
Somebody who made the city better. Speaking to former council member, former state senator, former state rep, and now current congressman Troy Carter. That's one thing he said. He said always make sure you leave the community better than you found it, and that's one thing I strive to do. That sounds like a generic question or a generic answer, but being able to say, hey, this wasn't here, this program wasn't here before I got here, or this endeavor wasn't going as smoothly before I got here, but now that I'm gone, this scholarship is in place, or these grants are in place. That's what I want to leave as an elected official, just making our community better and helping those who maybe have been looked over prior to me becoming an elected official.
Why did you get involved in politics?
Well, I worked for former council member and former judge Nadine Ramsey, and I saw behind the scenes how a lot of communities, a lot of people kind of just were forgotten about or given lip service. So I felt actually being a council member, you can help those less fortunate people, and that's the main reason. I didn't get in for the money, I didn't get it for the prestige, um, because it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time. It takes time away from me and my family. Um, takes time for me and my law practice. I just really wanted to make a positive change in my community, and I was doing that as a lawyer. But I figure I have a bigger platform and more resources to do it, to reach further than just my area in Algiers. So that's the reason I got into it, to make our community better.
So, why should Frederick King III be reelected?
I think the results speak for itself. You look at, for instance, here's something small. Look at the small, not small, but I'm a product of Nord. I played baseball, basketball, football at Norman Park. My children participate in Nord, whether it's through NOBA, the New Orleans Ballet Association, or different sports. And a lot of people on the West Bank felt that the parks weren't equal to the East Bank Park. So me, my former coach, Larry Barabino, he made that commitment, said we go put Algiers where it needs to be. And right now we have facilities that's never been seen in Algiers. One, Skelly Rupp Baseball Stadium. It's the home stadium for Xavier University's men's baseball team. So Algiers has college baseball. The George V. Rainey Natatorium, that's an indoor year-long swimming pool that Algiers never had. So those are just a few things we've brought to the district that never been here before, and why I should be elected. You had a 50-year monopoly on food push carts in the French Quarter. Now we've erased that monopoly, and we have over 20 permits that anybody can come and get to have your own business in the French Quarter. So we've done things on the East West Bank that haven't been done before. It hasn't been done before. A couple of weeks ago, there was talk about shutting down Second Line, so they had to have a certain amount of money for insurance. But we kind of blocked that, and now we're working with the Second Line crews to make sure they're in compliance. So my work speaks for itself. A lot of tangible deliveries that I've brought to the district is why people should vote for me.
Okay. So, and what is your district, and what areas do you cover?
District C, and that is all of Algiers, all of the French Quarter, Marigny, Bywater. I have a small portion of St. Roch. The other part of St. Roch is District D, over governed by Councilman Eugene Green, and I have Treme. So right now, I stop at Claiborne under the bridge, but soon I'll be going all the way down Orleans up to the Zulu Club.
Gotcha. So I know we spoke briefly, and I was trying to get you on the show after the terrorist attack on January the 1st, and I know you had a lot of things to say about that. Do you have anything since then to say about that?
No, I think nothing. Well, yes, a few things. The city did a great job of responding. I think we did a great job collectively of rallying around NOPD, rallying around those families who suffered that tragic loss, and really doing what we always do in New Orleans when times get hard. We rally together and we love on one another. There is still talk about the future of pedestrianising the French Quarter. Do you make it? What's the balance? Is it all pedestrian, no cars, or do you have a certain timeline? So I think NOPD and their leadership, they're still figuring out that sweet spot. I can tell you, I've spoken to a lot of businesses, a lot of residents in the French Quarter who are not in favor of totally shutting down the French Quarter or totally shutting down Bourbon, making it um, lessening the vehicular traffic, but maybe some hybrid system where maybe during certain hours we close it to and open up for deliveries. But there was a lot of talk about shutting down Bourbon to vehicular traffic, and one thing I could say without fear of contradiction that speaking to the residents and the businesses, that's not their vision of Bourbon Street or the French Quarter moving forward.
Okay. All right. So the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce community calendar, very quickly. First Friday won't be this Friday. It will be next Friday, the 13th, at Sweet Lorraine's. We will be involved in the Small Business Mayor's Candidates Forum on 9/11/25, the New Orleans Chamber of Commerce Mayor's Forum that would consist of the LGBTQ plus chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, as well as the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber on 9/26/25. And also on 10/3/25 here on the campus of Xavier University, the New Orleans Regional Black Chamber of Commerce presents the Phenomenal Woman Empowerment Conference. So please go to Eventbrite, get your tables, tickets, and everything for that. And I think our show has come to an end. But Brother King, any parting words?
Well, I want to thank you for having me. Thank the Black Chamber of Commerce for having me, and really what they do every day throughout this city, and that's trying to elevate Black businesses. And anytime you want me again, man, let me know and I'll be here. Thank you to Xavier University also for really being that beacon of education in our city. So I appreciate that.
All right, listening audience, see you next week at 12 noon here on WBOK 1230 AM for Black to Business, and we'll be black at you next week. Thank you.